Simply put, reasonable accommodations are adjustments that can be made so employees with disabilities can perform the essential functions of their job. An employer may only be required to make reasonable accommodations to help employees fulfill their essential job functions. To determine if a function is an essential function, employers may look at: is there a reason this position exists to perform that function? Are there a limited number of employees who can perform that function? Is this function highly specialized? While you may be thinking reasonable accommodations could cost the company a lot of money, that isn't necessarily true. According to the Job Accommodation Network, 59% of companies said any accommodations needed did not cost the company anything, and those companies that did need to spend money on accommodations typically spent $500. According to the EEOC, there are 3 categories of reasonable accommodations: adjustments to a job application process, adjustments to the work environment, and adjustments that allow an employee with a disability equal access to benefits and privileges. There are several ways you may comply with reasonable accommodations. These include, but are not limited to, modifying a job, modifying a policy, allowing leave for doctor's appointments, changing a schedule, modifying a facility to make it more accessible, modifying tests and training materials, providing software or equipment, modifying or designing a product, obtaining a service, or reassigning the employee to an open position. It is important to understand that not every requested change is considered a reasonable accommodation. Companies are not required to make accommodations if the changes would present an undue hardship. What constitutes a hardship varies based on the size of the business. Other factors that determine if a request will create an undue hardship include the cost of the accommodation, if applicable, the company's financial resources, the type and location of the facilities, and the impact of the accommodation on the operation of the company. Deciding whether an accommodation is reasonable is determined on a case-by-case basis.